Tampa Bay. We buck 'em up when we raise the flag. Fire the cannons and seize the day. The crew's ready, all hands on deck, no parlay. Down in Tampa Bay. We buck 'em up. We buck 'em up. We buck 'em up. Down in Tampa Bay. We buck 'em up. We buck 'em up. We buck 'em up. Down in Tampa Bay.
You're down on your knees.
What is up, Bucs Nation? Welcome to another episode of the Loose Cannons podcast. I'm your host, Sammer, hanging out with my guy, Poppy Latte, our very annoying and very dumb and old brother, Stanker, and a special guest from Fox Sports, the lovely Carmen Vitali. As always, guys, remember, hit the subscribe button and the like button if you're new or if you're a regular, and we appreciate you giving us a comment whenever you can during the show, after the show, and of course everyone who participates with us in the chat. And don't forget, you can also listen to us the next day on audio, whether it's Spotify, iTunes, or any of your audio listening outlets. Anyway, Carmen, welcome to the show. That was a lot to say there.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
We're trying to be professional.
You're trying to be professional. You're much more legit than I think the last time I was on this podcast. So
Whoa,
congrats, guys,
way
for coming on the
more.
call.
Hey,
Way more
Carmen,
legit.
don't take shots because you're part of the Loose Cannons Hall of Fame. You were one of the first inductees.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't take shots. Come on.
Listen, Carmen, we barely ever talk about baby oil anymore.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
At all.
What?
Can you believe that?
Don't talk about it.
No.
I think this is the first time I've said the word baby oil, and at
This
least
season. This season.
this season for sure.
For sure.
Go ahead.
Dude, and Sammer's uncomfortable right now that
Sammer's
I mentioned it.
He's time stamping this so he can remove this.
He's gonna edit it out.
Okay.
He's gonna look. He just wrote it down. I'm getting a reprimand for
I've
that.
given you 3 warnings already. You know what happens? You're getting reported to HR. We have we can't. We have someone from
Do you
Fox
have-
Sports on here.
Do you have like a whiteboard that you tally like your MEs, your mental errors, like coaches and stuff do in the back rooms of their offices?
Oh, I thought you meant Emmys. I don't think we've ever been nominated for one of those yet. Carmen.
No, I
Not
know.
yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
Not
Sorry,
yet.
guys.
Not yet. But no,
Yeah.
Carmen, you joke about that, but me and Sam are literally, we call it the Brown Connection. We will wake up the next morning, get a cup of coffee, and we will review this tape. We will watch this tape.
They do, and it's not a whiteboard; it's a brown board, and my name is all over it. I'm always getting in trouble.
Always.
Yeah, we have a brown board. We write in white, Sharpie, and we break down the film and find out what we could have done better the night before, what we did very, very well. We try to, call the changes next time to kind of, play to our strengths rather than our weaknesses. Something that Dave Canales is doing currently for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
You know what the best part
Sure
about the
is,
show
isn't
is?
he?
You know what the best part about the show is? That like 90% of the football talks in the chat.
Yes.
That's
They're
true.
wasting their time. They're honestly wasting their time.
Carmen,
The
we have a
poll.
football game this Sunday.
Do you have a football game this Sunday?
We have a throwback creamsicle. Are you coming back?
No,
What's up?
I'm not, unfortunately.
Gonna do
Greg
game?
Almond is doing wonderful things as our NFC South writer at Fox Sports. So that means that I don't really get to travel down to Tampa anymore because he's got it covered. So unfortunately, I will not be there.
Yeah, but doesn't Todd Bowles call you in for like a whiteboard session? Like,
Yeah,
you know
yeah, I'm a
Lions
consultant.
offense than he
An
does.
off-the-record defensive consultant for the Tampa Bay. Not at all.
Yes.
But I do still keep up with Todd. I still keep up with a lot of those guys, and they're still just very wonderful to me. And I'm eternally indebted to the start that the Bucs gave me. Honestly.
Speaking of start, all right, the Bucs are hot right now, 3-1. Nobody thought we'd be here. Coming off a bye week, Detroit's coming to town. Carmen is, when we looked at the schedule early in the year, everyone kind of circled a few games and said these are the games that we're going to find out what this team is or isn't. Nobody really expected to have those earlier in the year, but a couple weeks ago, the Eagles team, we circled that, said this is a benchmark game. Could they be this good? Could they beat this team, or are they going to get destroyed? Is this game heading into the Sunday with the Lions also a benchmark game for the Bucs to look at, not only from a fan standpoint, but maybe inside that building to kind of understand where they are actually at?
I think so, because the Lions are one of the most complete teams in the NFL right now, and they're showing that. They're doing everything that they are supposed to do as a good team, which is not a phrase that you historically uttered for the Detroit Lions. A good team. This is a good team. This is not the Lions that we're used to. This is not the Lions I grew up with as a Chicago Bears fan growing up outside Chicago. This is a different beast, and they are an incredibly well-rounded team that is firing on all cylinders. And I'm very interested to see how these two teams match up with each other. So I think the Bucs are kind of looking at this. I don't think they need outside validation, though, at the same time. They know what they have. They know they have a good team, and they've been confident in that this entire offseason when everybody was counting them out because Tom Brady left. But you mentioned Dave Canales. Who better to get the best out of Baker Mayfield than the guy that did it with Geno Smith? And I feel like you're seeing that in real time. Not that the Bucs don't have holes right now, but it's going to be very interesting. I don't know how to pick this game, quite honestly, and I know you guys are probably going to end up making me, but it's my heart against my head in a lot of ways.
What you don't need, from what I just heard you say, you already picked the Bucs, and I only watch Buccaneer football, so as far as I'm concerned, Herman Moore still plays for the Lions. I don't even know anybody on that team.
Charlie Batch still in the pocket.
Charlie Batch is still there.
Hits, staying
no clue.
Yeah.
I know they have a coach who likes to yell a lot and threaten people and do that kind of stuff.
Threaten people. He does not threaten people. He yells a lot. He's very boisterous in what he says.
He's intimidating, and I felt uncomfortable watching his press conference, so I turned it off right away.
Good way, though. I love Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
The players love Dan Campbell. That staff is amazing. It's made up of a lot of former players, which I think has really helped intangibly kind of these guys buy into Dan Campbell's philosophy because their coaches can relate to the players on a level that most coaches can't. And they know exactly what they're going through. So that helps build trust, that helps build relationships. And they have this wonderful singular belief in this team and what this team can do. I have been saying it all offseason that the Lions are the team to beat in this division. And I think that they're actually true contenders, which is, again, very weird to say. But when you are around that locker room and you see those guys, it's very obvious that they know what they're doing. They're a complete team and they believe in themselves.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I personally, I think MCDC is corrupt. He literally stepped at the podium, his opening presser, and said, "We're going to bite kneecaps." I mean, this is kneecap gate. It's dirty. I don't like it. Who bites kneecaps? Why are we going after players' kneecaps here? What's going on there?
Yeah, that kind of sounds like Bounty Gate to me.
Those two. Very similar.
It sounds a little bit like a Saints defensive coordinator talking out loud. Yeah, but listen, I actually like Dan Campbell. Because I like the way he says "man" at the end of every sentence. That's basically his period or his comma. And so I'm a huge fan of that, right? I mean,
I love chicken wings, man.
Yeah, I mean, how could you not like a dude like that? He's just like, "Hey, we're gonna go out there and play ball, man." You're like, "Okay, yeah, absolutely. I don't even know what you're talking about. Let's go. Let's just do it. We're gonna bite kneecaps, man. All right, yeah, hell yeah, let's do it." Does remind me a little bit of the Saints, though. I totally agree there. You touched a little bit on Canales, Carmen. And we're going to preview this game, but I have to ask you what you've seen from him so far. From obviously you cover the NFC North, but I'm sure you're keeping tabs on your old team.
He is gorgeous, by the way. He's gorgeous.
Yeah. How could you not keep your eye on him? Exactly.
My God.
We all
that
agree on
man's
that.
jawline, it rivals Tom's a little bit. It does.
He's got some nice.
Hey, Tom's jawline was immaculate. You can't. There's.
I don't know.
Tom's jawline is untouchable.
Current Tom Brady looks like, that jawline's a little.
But Carmen, when is it
skeleton-like?
When does it go from jawline? Exactly. When does it go from jawline to skeleton?
Yeah,
because that's kind of what you see.
When the cheeks go in, that when you look drawn, that's when it goes.
That was Tom last. That was Tom
last year. That was definitely last year.
All right. Well,
he was
Carmen
going
of Fox
through a lot.
Sports.
Yeah, it was.
Carmen of Fox Sports just said that Dave Canales is much more beautiful than Tom.
Yeah, I think that's
what
the
I
headline.
heard. That's put it on the ticket.
I'm refraining from commenting on people's appearances, so people don't do it to me.
Anyway, let's talk about what he's.
What do you think of Vita Vea's hair now that he cut it? Just we're talking about appearance.
I messaged him right after he did it, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
And I get it though. Like it was a lot to put up with. Like that was a lot of maintenance for him.
He's a father now. Okay.
I know he's got honey, and I think that hair kind of gets in the way too. I just she's adorable.
I got death threats, okay? Because it happened at the barbershop. People were literally that upset. I'm like, what do you want me to? You would think I'm going to tell Vita no?
Right.
He messed up. He missed a giant opportunity. Right. When your kids get older, they eventually look at you as the hero. The guy that they look up to. Right. But when they're at a certain age, no matter what you do for a living, they are not going to consider you to be a hero compared to like a Disney character. He had a chance to be literally
Maui
for his child. And his child wouldn't care that he plays football.
Honey is young though. By the time she's like 3 or 4, he's going to have it back.
Latte, is it weird that I want to ask
she needs to know about it now.
What happened to the hair? What did you do with the hair?
Yeah, where's the hair?
Is that weird?
Oh God, that's weird.
Kind of want to
Did
know.
you plant it? Did you plant it on a beach somewhere so that it could grow more Mauis?
Did you donate it?
I'm pretty sure he donated it. He donated
Oh,
it.
good.
He donated
That's
it.
great.
Yeah.
If I ever had that much hair and I cut it off, you're paying me for it. I'm not just giving it away. No offense to the foundations and whatnot. I'm just saying.
Wow. You know that goes to people who need hair.
Who
And you
need
want
hair,
to
like a cancer
you want to
patient
get them
that,
for their
like,
money,
lost
bro.
all of their
He's
hair.
got Maui hair, dude. That's like gold right there.
They could always just paint it on like you do.
I would, you know what I would do? I would have asked him for that hair so that I could have
Excuse me a second.
just beautiful clothing sewn of them.
He's in trouble.
We're getting real weird.
We just got him in trouble.
All right, let's go.
Wasn't
Let's
supposed
focus.
to talk about
focus.
Vita Vea's hair. Now he's in
I've
trouble.
allowed Stank to derail the show too early. All right, Carmen, back.
Why
back-
is it
all
me?
right. Because I asked her a question about Canales. You started talking about his jawline.
That was Latte.
No. All right, Carmen. Dave
Oh my
Canales.
God.
What do you see? What do you like from what he's doing so far with this team, and with most specifically the offensive line and Baker?
Everything just seems to be clicking, and he seems to be one of those coaches that is a guy that tailors his system to who he has available, and that's the mark of a good coach in this day and age. And that's what I've seen from afar from him. And I really enjoy the fact that he's letting Baker be Baker, but within some constraints, because we know that Baker likes to play backyard football. He likes to take shots. He likes to take risks. But it's from what I can tell, David Canales has harnessed that and funneled it into that energy into something very productive for Baker and allowed him to have a lot of fun. I mean, it just seems like Baker's having a ton of fun out there. And the offensive line, I can't say enough about, losing Ryan Jensen again, thinking that he's going to play this year, and then he doesn't, and Robert Hainsey stepping right back in there. And you got Jensen 2.0 in Cody. And I guess there's a rule now, I think, that the Bucs have to have a fiery, curly-haired red ginger on their team. Like, I think that's a law now. At least it should be in Hillsborough County.
He doesn't have a single personal foul penalty yet, Sam.
I don't like
Carmen.
I don't like it. He needs to get.
Yeah. He needs at least
This Sunday might be a good time. Go. Just
I was gonna say against a very formidable Detroit defensive front, I could see that.
when Aiden Hutchinson tries to do a stupid little stunt, just right in your hole, bro. Right in your hole.
Bam! Man, use that stout build of yours, and then
Beautiful.
let that fiery red hair, Dragon Ball Z, just
and
bam.
And Carmen, I mean, we know this. I mean, come on. It's not that long ago you left us and abandoned us. But Jason Light tweeted it on draft night. He has a type, okay? Gingers are his type. He has a type. So expect the Bucs to drive a fat guy every year. That's a redhead. Okay? It's just going to happen.
are the only thing that he likes.
I definitely like fat redheads. Speaking of the defensive line,
What?
we get a big piece back this week, Carmen, in Kalijah Kancey. Oh, we touched on the defensive line earlier, and then you kind of weird differently there. But anyway, whatever. Just go with it, man. What the hell? We're trying to be a professional show here for Carmen. Fox is never going to let her back on here. Listen, Kalijah Kancey's back for the Bucs. He's next to Vita Vea, who has created just ridiculous amounts of opportunities for the guys around him. Now he's getting a guy right next to him who is really a pass rushing interior defensive lineman.
Mm-hmm.
Speak about how impactful this could be this week, how much of that's going to play into the Bucs pulling off an upset at home.
I'm in the camp that Detroit has probably about the second best offensive line in the league right now. They are right behind the Philadelphia Eagles, and it's the reason for a lot of their offensive success. It's their creative play calling of Ben Johnson, coupled with the fact that Jared Goff is operating behind a brick wall. And that's how you get Jared Goff to be successful. I think he has the top, he's leading the league in passer rating right now, according to PFF. So that's by design, and it's because of this line. So you have to be able to attack the interior, because that is the closest, that's the path of least resistance at the shortest distance to the quarterback. In order to get to Jared Goff, you're not really going to be able to contend off the edge. Jared Goff is too smart for that at this point. And they have a lot of beaters for that kind of stuff. So I feel like your best chance is that interior pressure, which the Bucs do so well, which is why, again, this is such a good matchup, and what I'm going to be very interested to see. But especially if these guys have that interior rotation on the Bucs side of the ball, that's how you keep guys fresh, and that's how you consistently get a ton of pressure. I sneakily think this is going to be a defensive game between both sides, actually, because Todd Bowles is a mentor to Aaron Glenn, who is the Detroit's defensive coordinator. The two are incredibly close. Aaron played for Todd and they have maintained this wonderful friendship since. And in watching Aaron Glenn's defense, I've been picking out a lot of things that are consistent with the way Todd does things as well. They run technically different schemes, but the fact of the matter is, like, there is no such thing as a 4-3 and a 3-4 anymore. Everything is fluid. And just the way that Aaron Glenn operates, the way that he teaches his staff, who teaches the players, and the way that he, like, again, tailors his defense to what his players do well every single year, is something that Todd does very well. And I'm sure that I've talked to Aaron Glenn about Todd, and that's something that he's gotten from him. So I think this is one of those, like, watch the student become the master type things for Aaron Glenn. But they're going to have to play very defensive sound football against a Bucs offense that has a lot of weapons too. So I think it might be a defensive game. That's my hunch, but I could be totally wrong.
I agree, and they do have a really, 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 really good offensive line. I agree with you, Carmen, but I don't think they faced a front quite like ours either, or a defense quite like us, or a Vita Vea. Like, I mean, there's only one. He's one of one. And Todd came on here and talked about it. He's also developing a little bit of, some wiggle, some pass rush, which is really freaking cool to see a man that size using his hands. And it's like,
he's that agile though. Like, he's that athletic. He
insane.
can do it.
Insane.
Yeah. I'm just excited to see the pressure that he creates and the double teams that he demands. And now next to him is a guy in Kalijah Kancey who, if Vita's not there, he's the guy who's demanding those double teams. Right. And now you can't double team him, and he's more of a pass rusher. So I'm excited to see how that translates, because we only got 11 plays out of him in Minnesota.
Hit the buzzer.
So now we get to see him legitimately come in there, and I think that's going to be, again, Jared Goff is also not playing at home. And so when he plays on the road, he's a different Jared Goff, unfortunately. And if you get pressure right in his lap, which again is what the Bucs are going to be able to do with these two guys, especially Vita, that's where I think the matchup kind of takes a swing towards the Bucs' advantage, because they could probably wreak some havoc in there. Stank, what's wrong?
I just got mooned by somebody. Don't, bro, do not. Sorry.
Can you hit the buzzer really quick, Stink?
Oh.
$4.99 super chat by Collegiate Computer. Who's Hall of Fame.
Oh.
Says, who wins? We'll answer this one quick, and then Sammer can jump back into his, Bleacher Report, tied up, very buttoned up loose cannon show.
I don't know that I would use Bleacher Report for buttoned up.
But Collegiate Computer says,
Rude.
Carmen, who wins in a street fight? Dave GQ Canales or Dan Grumpy Campbell? Hashtag Eat Italian. If you know, you know.
Campbell's got weight on him, though. Campbell's got size on him, too.
Campbell's like 6'8", right?
Yeah.
Campbell is massive. He's a massive human. This man drinks, I think, 4 espresso shots in his venti double latte coffee, like, every morning. Crazy. He's jacked up in every sense of the word. Like, he is just he's a madman, and he's a wonderful guy. He's very fun to be around, and he's very charismatic, and he knows what he's doing too. But in a street fight, I'm sorry, I'm taking Dan Campbell all day. I know that Canales could probably be pretty shifty. I almost see Canales like bringing out some like jujitsu or some sort of martial arts or whatever.
No. He does capoeira.
No?
He does the Brazilian capoeira. He moves. He does the play action bootleg. He's gonna get Dan. Dan's gonna swing. He's gonna get tired, and and I was just gonna move around, stick and move, and then hit him with the capoeira. I'm going with GQ. GQ.
Wait, capoeira is dance fighting, so I'm gonna go with Campbell on that. Yeah.
Here's the thing, you guys don't know. Obviously, I shook his hand, and it made the world's largest clap, longest clap, loudest clap, whatever you want to say it. But Canales has massive hands.
Massive.
Right? And not only are they very soft to the touch, but they're also very, very strong. Okay, they are very strong.
Carmen,
hands.
I'm not kidding.
Carmen.
It was as if he took his hand out of a glove of just.
Yeah.
Just lotioned and
like
moist.
that scene in Ocean's 11 where Bernie Mac is like, "What do you use on your? You got some nice hands. What do you use?"
Yeah. It was like that. It was like, most people think we would be trying to get Canales on the podcast or something like other people do, but no, we're just like, what's up with these hands? Forget the show.
It would be an hour-long show just about whatever his hand routine is.
When I shook his hand. When I shook his hand, Carmi, it sounded like that bass drop that happens in trailers right before like something extremely important happens in a movie. It goes, and like the sub just drops.
Oh, like a Christopher Nolan,
Yeah.
Drop.
Boom.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
exactly what it sounded like when his palm met my palm, and everyone at training camp it all just reverberated. Everyone stopped what they were doing. No one had any idea what happened. It was like a sonic boom, and I knew right then and there this guy was my offensive coordinator. I knew right then and there this guy was gonna be the man who took us to the promised land with Baker Mayfield. It was unbelievable. I mean, I'm getting chills right now just thinking about it.
Just
Goosebumps
thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, it was
Hey, Carmen,
amazing.
how are you from where you're at in the Windy City? How are you how are you taking this whole Baker thing in?
I love it. I've always loved Baker, and the fact that he got the chance with the Rams last year and did some really good things, I think he's fun. I think he's good for the game of football, and I just think that he's so easy to like from a teammate perspective. So I was really excited for this, and I mean, I think Baker has been in the back of the Bucs' head for a while. Like when Tom retired, or when they thought Tom retired the first time, I think Baker was a name that floated around then too, because you knew that he's above all else, he's a good teammate. I mean, he's taking the line to the Bahamas before the season starts, and he's doing all these wonderful things in the Tampa community as well, and embracing it wholeheartedly. So I love Baker. I've loved Baker since college. So I'm really excited for that, and I love this character arc for him. So I think it surprised a lot of people from a national point of view. But I was on Tampa radio week 1 saying that I thought that this team was going to surprise a lot of people. So I am claiming that because I know a lot of it was I have an inherent bias to the Bucs still, given that I know so many people still inside that building.
You have a Super Bowl ring. You
do.
have a Buccaneers
right,
Super Bowl
ring. She's
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah, people were
She's a
asking
girl.
if you were wearing it.
No, I'm not wearing it, but I can pull it out if you guys want.
Yeah, I actually do want you.
That should actually be a prerequisite. When you come on the show from here on out, Carmen, that has to be on
I'm gonna
your
pull
hand.
mine out. I'm gonna pull mine out too.
Yeah, you need to keep that on all the time on these shows. It is what it is.
Oh, there you go. It's too big for that. I actually got a fun story that I like to tell about the ring is that I got it a couple sizes bigger than my actual finger because my dad's fingers are really big, and I wanted him to be able to try it on.
Oh,
So it doesn't actually fit my hand because I knew I was never really going to wear it. So I just wanted to make sure that it was big enough that he could fit it, at least on his pinky.
Such a clean ring. By the way, I apologize, guys. I have a major leak going on at the barbershop right now. Like, bad. Ceiling tiles all over the floor and stuff. So I'm just trying to figure this out with my maintenance guy. That's why I keep pausing.
No.
Anyway, yeah.
hey, Latte, I might know a guy.
Good,
Yeah. Fun time.
don't hire that guy. We talked a lot about the Bucs defensive line, Carmen, but we'd be pretty stupid not to talk about the other side and this guy named Aiden Hutchinson, who's apparently a pretty good pass rusher.
Great.
And he's going against an offensive line that struggled against the defensive line of the Philadelphia Eagles. So, again, since you know this team better than we do, what we got going on there in terms of that matchup between our guys and him? How do they use him? Do they move him around a lot? I don't watch enough of the games to know how they would utilize him, or is he basically on the left side, go get pass or go get ball?
They will move him inside also. And especially with stunts and stuff like that, but there are times that he aligns inside as well at the 3 or even the 4-eye, and there's not many answers for Aiden Hutchinson.
Tristan Wirfs is an answer.
Yeah, Tristan Wirfs is always the
That's
answer.
the answer.
Yes.
But he's
And
not out there.
honestly, I can't tell you how proud I am of Tristan. Just from everything he went through to switch, it's not an easy transition, and that's what I kept saying when that idea was first floated of him moving to the left side. I know that that's a hard transition, and I'm so glad that he talked about how hard that is, because what we're seeing out of Tristan Wirfs is not the norm. He is the exception in every sense of the word, and I want people to understand that we need to not be so cavalier about these guys' positions. It is highly specialized. It's very difficult to switch sides and still be elite. And I wanted to make sure that Tristan was always elite. And I should have had a little bit more faith. I'll be the first to admit that, because he is incredible. And I'm not going to minimize what he is doing at all. And I think that the Lions are going to game plan for that and try to keep Aiden Hutchinson away from his side of the line, because that makes sense. It doesn't make sense to put Aiden against the best lineman that another team has. And he does have the position flexibility to play on both sides, to play on the interior. And I mean, Aiden Hutchinson is doing a lot on his own, though. And he's made John Kaminsky look great. Because I don't know if anybody outside of Detroit knows who John Kaminsky is.
Is that the guy from
they,
The Office who played Jim?
I have no idea.
There
who
it is.
Don
I know. But he.
I
he
like that
plays
guy.
Opposite. He plays
Yeah, I
opposite
do.
of Aiden Hutchinson.
He's a defense. What?
He's a defensive end.
Defensive
He's a
end?
Yes,
I thought he was in that. I thought he was in that Tom Clancy thing on Amazon Prime.
Huh.
They
Good pull,
James
Sammer.
Houston
Good
went
pull.
down early in the
Thank
season, and he was finished second on the team in sacks last year, despite not starting until week 12. I'm just going to talk through this.
I'm 100%. I got you, Carmen. I'm here. I'm locked in. These guys can be.
Thank you. No, it's just, but it's truly a testament to what Aiden Hutchinson can do, and the fact that he's discovered that he's got hands. He had never had an interception in his football career prior to getting to the NFL. He now has 4.
That's
And
insane.
last week's was a one-handed interception, in fact.
What
And
a
now you have
stupid-
Aiden Hutchinson actually saying, "Yeah, man, I got hands." And I'm like, "You got hands in the NFL somehow." He's just getting better, and he's a nightmare for offensive lines. So they can do a lot of stuff with him. He's enemy number 1.
Well, there's a guy on the other side that we all talked lots of shit about and said lots of mean and nasty things about him. Luke Gadecki, who is he's found his position, I think, at right tackle. He did what he did against the Saints last week. Like he should probably be locked up for that. Like he was out there just doing foolish things. So I think he's finding his confidence too. So hopefully, he can give Hutchinson a little bit of that as well. He pancaked the guy for 90 straight seconds. It was pretty disturbing to watch. Actually,
I love how you say the guy, because I want to give him respect of calling him by his name either. The stupid magician with the stupid mustache, the one that crap about. There's no rivalry. What rivalry? He's right. There is no rivalry because they're 3-0. 3-0.
Hold on. Wait.
What?
Carmen and Kay Adams are best friends, and that magician goes on that show all the time.
This needs to be addressed.
Kay wearing her Saints onesies, acting and then trying to give the Bucs credit.
Like they're besties. Like she just thinks they're so great.
How could you?
Carmen?
She has. I
Carmen?
feel like she hasn't been riding for the Saints that hard this year.
What?
What? She's
I
one
think
of
you
the
guys are
biggest
sensitive.
Saints.
I think you guys are a little sensitive when it comes.
We
to
might
that.
be.
Sensitive?
You might be.
You are.
What? I can't be. I don't even have a heart, Carmen. So there's no way it can be sensitive. So try again.
That's
I also
true.
don't have pores.
That's
so
true.
I can't be sensitive
For
on that
us.
side either. All
For
right.
us, Carmen. For us, Carmen. The next time you're on Up and Adam and all that stuff, right?
Okay.
I need you to take that beautiful piece of hardware that's right behind your left shoulder,
Mhm.
and when she puts on her stupid Saints onesie, you just flash this and we
And just whisper,
She has-
whisper in her ear and say,
Give her the finger.
Fuck the
Give her the
Saints.
finger, Carmen. Give her the finger and say "fuck the Saints" right on air.
right there on camera.
Walk off. You'll be a legend. You'll be a legend in Tampa Bay, and you'll never get another job.
without a
again.
job. No, she's not
I was
doing
gonna say without a job.
But
By the way, Keisha gifted a membership
What is-
earlier.
Stop.
Yeah.
Let's try-
sorry, we have a 1990s DJ also on board here, Carmen. We didn't tell you about. He's in the back. He's behind the glass.
I promise, Carmen, we've been so well behaved that you came on here. We go right back to
I
2000.
know, and then you go. Did you see what I posted when I quote tweeted this thing, and it was like the Bugs Bunny about to turn me back to the old me.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah, this is definitely happening. You've done it to us. No, I have a question about Hutchinson still.
Okay.
If you are somehow able to slow him down as an offense, I'm assuming not many teams have, is he basically kind of, the oil to that engine? If you can kind of slow him down or make things a little bit more frustrating with chips and kind of bootlegs and making him work himself extra, screen passes over top of him, making him think twice, can you then basically expose the rest of the defense? Because I don't really think they're loaded talent-wise on that side of the ball, but he does wreak so much havoc that it makes everyone around him a little bit better.
They are really relying on Aiden Hutchinson to get pressure and just the entire defensive front. Honestly, they've got their interior defensive tackles are highly underrated. Ali McNeil and Isaiah Buggs, those are two guys that I think have flown completely under the radar. But the secondary has just suffered injury after injury so far this season. And they've had to get creative, kind of where they're bringing pressure from, and there's a lot that falls on those linebackers. Alex Anzalone, another one that's gone way under the radar on a national level. He's been playing really good ball. Their rookie Jack Campbell goes sideline to sideline. I don't throw around this comparison lightly, and I'm not the first to do it. But he's the first guy that I've seen that kind of has a little bit of Luke Kuechly to him. He's really smart. And before you get on me, Tristan Wirfs was the first one to tell me. So as soon as the Lions drafted Jack Campbell, I texted Tristan and I was like, do you know Jack? Tell me what I need to know about him. And he was like, couldn't have been happier for Jack to have gone in the first round. He was like, I'm so glad someone picked him up that early. He deserves to go that early. He's so smart, but also he comes downhill like a Mack truck. Tristan's like, some of the worst hits I took at Iowa were from Jack Campbell. And I'm like, you see it now. So that's been helping get pressure as well, which again takes away from the responsibility of the backfield, which is just so incredibly hurt right now. You got CJ Gardner-Johnson out. Emmanuel Mosley tore his other ACL in his first game back from an ACL injury, which you just never want to see. They're getting a lot of good stuff out of Brian Branch, but he also has kind of been battling through some injuries. He's still been playing, but he's been battling through some injuries, but he is every bit the Swiss Army knife they want him to be. But between the linebackers and the backfield, they are getting really creative. Aaron Glenn is very, very good at figuring out remedies for making up for, these personnel, the missing personnel that they have. And again, when you get a ton of pressure up front, that just makes everybody's job easier. So I think if you can take Aiden Hutchinson out, you're going to have a lot of success. And that's probably the best key to beating that Lions defense. But I don't necessarily think that it's, you take him out and then that's it. I still think they have a lot of good guys there that are flying under the radar.
Is Jack Campbell Dan Campbell's son?
No, they're not related.
It's safe space here. You can tell us.
No, nobody's watching.
We won't expose.
No, they're not.
Whatever scandal is going on up there in
Carmen,
Detroit.
Is he related to the soup people?
Carmen,
that I don't know.
Nobody knows that.
I have an actual question, Carmen. Can this Buccaneers team beat the Lions without one Mike Evans if he doesn't go because of the hamstring?
Yeah, that's going to be hard. I'm not going to say they can't. But the other thing about Detroit right now is, and I know that the Bucs have been kind of struggling to get the ground game to where they want it to be. But Detroit is doing an incredibly good job against the run this year. They are allowing the least rushing yards per game of any team, while simultaneously putting up over 100 yards of rushing offense against opponents. So that's going to come into play here a lot, especially if Mike can't go. You're going to need to try and figure out a way to be effective and not be one-dimensional against a team that is the best at making other teams one-dimensional. So that's going to be a tough sell, and that's going to be a tough bill. But again, with how creative Dave Canales can be, you never know. I mean, you're going to have to pull out a lot of tricks probably, especially because this defense is very well prepared for, like, they've been going against in training camp a very creative offensive scheme from Ben Johnson. So they know what to look for. They also behave like an offense does in the way that Bowles' defense behaves like an offense does, where they have checks. They can go up to the line and you have certain guys on that side of the ball that say, okay, I'm seeing this now. We're checking into something else. And it just makes it that much harder on opposing offenses. So it's going to be, like I said, it's just going to be a battle. Like, I don't want to pick this game. And I would never, if in a confidence pool, I would never put any points on this because I just don't know which way it's going to go.
That's the next segment. So you're going to have to pick.
Yeah.
Segment.
Well,
No.
I was going to add, and Canales is kind of a testament to what he's been able to do this season, most specifically against the Saints, a physical defense, defense that's given us trouble in the past. He was able to create a lot of motion and eye candy and misdirection and kind of use the defense's speed and strength against themselves and create opportunities for guys like Trey Palmer, guys like Devin Tompkins, guys like, that need space with the ball in their hands and an opportunity to basically make a play. And so that's why I think that they're going to have something schemed up, being that they focused on this game probably for 2 weeks now, to have an answer for Hutchinson.
Sam, I think that's a great point. And I think Canales, we know Canales is, he's a bright guy. Carmen said we have to get creative and stuff. They put some stuff on tape that last game before the bye week, Carmen, and now we've had 2 weeks to prepare. But he put some stuff on tape, which you've been in the game, you've been in locker rooms, you've been on the whiteboard top bowls. You know that coaches sometimes do that on purpose, right? We had a couple of end arounds, we had a fake end around, then a Godwin pass attempt those are things that you do on purpose. You do that because this week now, when Godwin happens to come in motion, they might be, oh shit, wait, you might. So yes, they're gonna have to get creative. I think they will. I think you're gonna see some stuff off of what he did with the Saints that might misdirect, and you might see somebody wide open, some broken cover stuff.
Wrinkles. Yeah,
yeah,
some
wrinkles. Things.
Yeah, we had Jake on the Fully Loaded podcast earlier today, and Jake reminded me of something he's always said.
I had to stop drinking my water, bro. I need to address this publicly. We did, me and Stank did privately. This is insane, people. Sammer's like he's on Fox Sports. He's on Bleacher Report. He's on the Fully Loaded podcast. I mean, he's doing a tour. I don't know what's going on anymore. Is he a whore? Is he not a canon? I don't know what's going on, Carmen. I
love to hear myself talk. And I love looking back at the camera. That's how it is. I'm being very honest with you guys. That's what it is. An opportunity for me to look at myself in the camera and talk. I mean, I'm down. I can hear myself right now in both earphones. All right, I'm just letting you know. No, what I was going to say is he says a lot is that when you're a play caller or a team, 4 weeks is kind of like that line in the sand of when other teams now have really good tape on you. They kind of understand what you're trying to do, what you're attempting to do game in and game out. And I think the flip side to that is Canales hasn't fully installed this offense. We're week 4 into what he's considering a 10-week install to get the entire playbook in. So that kind of works to his advantage. But I'm curious to see how those wrinkles are going to be put into play. How he's going to look now in the 5th game with enough tape now for a Detroit defense to be able to kind of look at it and be like, all right, we have a pretty clear understanding of what these guys are trying to do.
Yeah, that's a really good point because it's true. These guys, 4 weeks is kind of the benchmark they use to be able to pick up on tendencies and different things that you can notice game by game that you can count on. So when you see a certain look, even if they don't necessarily run the same play every time, you know one guy is keying in on this, that, and the other. But I do think, given the fact that Detroit has had so many injuries to their defensive backfield, that Aaron Glenn is still kind of molding this defense and is still making changes to this defense to account for those absences, which makes it look different week in and week out. And that's where you get, again, the chess match of, are you setting guys up the week before with putting certain things on tape and carrying that over? I mean, this is stuff that coaches do and they think about it. I know, like, every time I've told people that, they're like, oh, that's like a conspiracy theory. I'm like, it's not a conspiracy theory. These guys put in plays for their next opponent in the previous game on purpose. And then we'll run different things and build off of those plays. At least the good coaches do. This is how you play chess in this league, not checkers, which is a big thing that Todd Bowles taught me. So I think that if that's happening though on both sides with both of these teams, because that's what's making the Lions so good this year is not only do they have a complete team, but they have coordinators and guys behind the scenes that are constantly evolving this team to the point where they're getting better every week. And that's what makes them scary.
This is my last one, and then we can get score predictions because the game's about to start, so we can get out of here. But also, Carmen, and I hate to put you on the spot. Maybe Sammer knows because he knows everything now. You know what I mean? He's just Mr. Universal, Mr. Worldwide. He's the new.
He's the new pit bull.
I didn't say any of those things.
The offensive coordinator for Seattle that Coach Canales coached under. What was his name? He came from the Rams coaching tree, something like that. I can't remember his name.
He did.
I can't remember his name right now.
I can't remember
anyways, Canales had a press conference to talk about today. I'm just trying to, because people are talking about the run game, Carmen. People are talking about, like you said, it's evolving. It's getting there. Everybody fucking relax, right? He talked about how that OC from Seattle said that his first year there, their run game didn't really get going until like week 9. Like it took long. And people can get upset. People can get mad at Rashad or the offense, or we can't block up the middle. The fact of the matter is, guys, it's a zone running scheme. It's a dance. Everybody has to be on the same page. The running back has to read the same thing. It's a dance, and you can't rep it in training camp. You're not going live. You're not going to hit each other. Right. They're not playing preseason games. So this is them evolving. This is their preseason. That's why it took Seattle, and why Canales talked about it in Seattle, that first year they installed that offense, it took to about week 9. So everybody relax. As long as we're getting 4 yards a pop against a strong front like the Saints, I'm okay with that. That's 3 runs. That's a first down. It doesn't have to be sexy. It doesn't have to be sexy. It just has to be effective. So
listen, I know Carmen's on here because she follows the NFC North, and I hear a lot of big talk, honestly. Like, I'm not scared of the Detroit Lions, okay? Like, that's the softest division in football. You see what happens when we play NFC North teams, right?
This is what happens.
Right? You see what happens, right?
What happens. This is when it goes south. Relax.
I haven't been able to talk football this entire podcast. All right, so let me make my point. I don't care who you got. I don't care which Campbell you got, how chunky they are. They don't scare us. They don't scare us. We're breaking out the creamsicles, Carmen.
I know.
How come you haven't even talked about that yet?
Because that could probably play against us.
By the way, I said earlier if Mike doesn't play, there's no way in hell Mike's missing this game with the creamsicles. Like it's just not happening.
Right?
I said, listen, one, he's a dog, so he's going to play through injuries regardless. He knows it's an important game. But two, like there's a little added bonus that, I'm not saying that this is going to happen or might not happen. We don't know what the future is, and this could be his one shot to wear the creamsicles, which he's been apparently a big fan of. He was a massive part of the video when they dropped all of this, and he's part of the marketing, output of all of this. And so for him to not play this week would be out of the question. It's not happening. He's going to play, and you know what? Even if it's 60% Mike, Carmen will tell you, that decoy of having a Mike Evans out there is just as good as having Mike Evans running around actually catching passes. You still have
Carmen. Have you not seen the Mike
have all
chain?
these other weapons.
Have you not seen the M1K3 chain that he's been rocking? Guy's gonna suffer for fashion this week. He's gonna be in the creamsicle. You know that, okay? It's happening.
He does like them. He does. And I'm very excited to see them. This has been a long time coming. Are you kidding? We were campaigning for this even internally for so long, and now I don't even get to be there when it comes to fruition. So
that doesn't mean you can't wear cream. That doesn't mean you can't rock a creamsicle jersey all day.
Well, when Kay brings you on next week after this game, and the Bucs have shocked the world yet again, and being the Detroit Lions, I want you to show up with the creamsicle T-shirt. All right, and listen, I'm not a big fan. Okay, and some people have already made comments in the chat that I'm not wearing black today, because I only wear black. I basically have a closet full of, Homer Simpson type of scenario here where it's all the same exact short sleeve black hoodie. Yeah. But listen, I even got Bucko Bruce on, all right?
Wow.
I got Bucko Bruce on, all right?
Holy
this is a big fucking deal. All right, this is a big deal. This is a big week. I might wear this in the game. Might be my only game without a jersey on, all right? But hey, I'm not wearing orange. Not doing that. But I will wear the logo because I do like the logo. But anyway, Carmen, we got to pick this game. You know that, right? You know you're not coming on here and not picking the game, okay? So you kind of have no choice, right? But I did want to ask one last question before we did that, because it is important, and we did talk about the run game, okay? When it goes back to the Detroit Lions, who have run the ball surprisingly well with a guy that I think they signed and not expected to be the guy, because they drafted Jahmyr Gibbs, and he's kind of a different skill set. I don't know if he's struggling with pass pro. I know now he's got a little bit of a hammy. I don't think he's supposed to be playing. Montgomery, when he's running against a Bucs defense with those big guys in the middle, I don't see how he's possibly going to be very effective against us. I know, this is not the same run defense from 2-3 years ago, but guys of his size having to kind of squeeze through holes where Vita Vea is occupying space, it doesn't seem to work that well against the Bucs. Usually it's the bigger, stronger, taller, and shiftier backs that kind of give us problems if we have problems. So I'm curious what you think of that in terms of the matchup between Montgomery running against this Bucs defense, and if they can lean on him, or if they're going to have to abandon that and put the ball in the hands of one Goff.
No, I think they can still lean on him. And honestly, the investment they made in David Montgomery was always indicative of the fact that he was going to be the guy, and you were going to have Jahmyr Gibbs be this gadget kind of creative player that can also catch passes because of how good of a route runner he is. It was never going to fall on the rookie, just for the sheer fact that he's a rookie. They have openly talked about this season how much they appreciate that David Montgomery is a vet, and he has experience, and he knows what he's looking at, and he can identify these holes, which is why he's been able to be so effective. Not even just up the middle through the A gaps or the B gaps, he can bounce outside. And that's the thing, is he knows to be patient behind this offensive line. That's the difference between the David Montgomery that was in Chicago and the David Montgomery that's now in Detroit, is he trusts this offensive line implicitly for good reason. And I've watched him let blocks develop, and I've watched him kind of sit behind either the guard or even the tackle and wait to see where his holes were going to break, where his lanes were going to break. And so it's not that he just has to go up the middle and he's just a north-south runner. He's extremely versatile, he's athletic, and he can get to the outside. So I think that you're right in the fact that they're probably not going to run him up the gut as much, given the fact that he's going to run straight into Vita. But that's not going to stop him, I don't think, from being effective. And again, that's something that in this offense, the run game unlocks so much more. But it's not they don't have to get over 100 yards of rushing a game to be effective, because especially if they end up getting Amon-Ra St. Brown back, which for all intents and purposes, it looks like he's going to be back into the lineup. And Jameson Williams now has a game under his belt, getting used to game speed again. there's going to be able to do some really fun things. And then, of course, there's Sam Laporta, who is the rookie tight end that's breaking every single rookie tight end record. What?
He's hurt. He's hurt. He got hurt today. Hurt calf.
Oh, that's right. You did get. You're right. You're right.
Oh,
I just tweeted that too.
It's huge.
But
huge.
I don't know if he's not going to play though. I don't know if he's not going to play.
Well, he won't be 100%. And Carmen, I'm giving you the stupid face because you were here for a long time. Okay, you got hardware because you were here, and they're not going to run up the middle because they're going to run right into.
I didn't make a prediction.
Okay, no. I'm just clarifying because there's a guy here, the only one that's worn Creamsicle out of the whole roster. And you're saying you're not going to run it up the middle because you're going to run right into Vita.
I know.
They're going to run it outside. They're going to run right into 54, right into 54 and 45. I'm not worried about it. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, you and me are on the same wavelength, Poppy. I was going to correct her and say, is that not playing into the Bucs' hands?
That's
at that
playing
point?
right into our hands.
Devin White and Levante David. Then we haven't even talked about the man playing out of his ridiculously out of his mind in Antoine Winfield, who's playing the run. He's playing the pass. He's communicating the defense to everyone. He's seeing everything ridiculously quickly. Like they're just playing into their hands if they run outside. You're not gonna beat the Bucs sideline to sideline. This is just not happening.
Did you see Yaya against the Saints? They tried running outside. No.
That man would have been arrested if that was outside of Louisiana.
Not to mention. Devin White's been resting up the last 2 weeks. This defense has been a little bit banged up. We're getting Jamel Dean back. And we've had 2 weeks
Davis
just
going to be a week healthier.
Yeah. Early in the season.
I didn't know about the Laporta thing because that was one of the things I said. If the Lions are going to beat the Bucs, it's Laporta being able to basically take advantage of linebackers who can't keep up with him, and not keep up with him in the sense that they can't run with him, but you have the advantage when you're running, the routes and things of that nature. But now if he's kind of slowed down, a little gimpy, that's even better. But to touch on that, one last question, Carmen. I'm so sorry because you do know Todd Bowles' mind. Okay, would he ever kind of take Antoine and use him as a spy directly on Laporta? Is that something that he kind of has in his arsenal, or does he prefer to have him kind of be more floating around and doing some of the stuff you see him doing right now on tape?
It's not a coincidence that Antoine is a guy that helps call the defense, and I mean he's as a safety. I think that's very indicative of the position that Todd played, which was safety. And when Todd was a safety, he was in charge of calling the defense because, especially in decades past. That was a really common thing was to have the safety because you can see everyone in front of you. And I think Antoine in a lot of ways acts like that. I mean, he doesn't wear the green dot, but he's a guy that is still kind of moving guys around and needs to know everybody's the game plan itself and know everybody's role and everything like that. So I think he's better utilized when he can kind of float around and make sure that he's helping out where he needs to and making plays where he needs to as well. I think if you just put him on one guy, you're taking away the thing that makes Antoine special, which is plays can come out of anywhere with Antoine. And I mean, he's effective at every level of the defense. I'm sure I don't know if you guys have seen it yet, but I'm sure it's going to happen where he's up at the line and he's getting pressure and he's in the box, he's out of the box. He can do so many things. And I think if you just put him on one player, you wouldn't be tapping into the just vast skill set that he has. So I don't know that it's not something that Todd's either thought about or if he has something along those lines, but I don't think that's the best use of Antoine, and I think Todd would agree.
I think Antoine will do whatever he's asked to do. That guy's capable of literally playing every position. What Stammer dropped on Todd last week, and Todd came on the show that Antoine's our leading, what is
PFF.
it?
PFF has him ranked as our number one pass rusher.
He's our best pass rusher.
Oh, we heard all of that.
That's not shocking to me.
Yeah, he's PFF's number one pass rusher for the Bucs, which is like, I guess he gets home every single time. And I feel like Devin White is another one that's like that. And every time he has him blitz right up that A gap, he's gonna get a sack. It's like especially against a guy like
that's
Goff.
been a long time coming too. They've been really trying to get Devin more involved in the pass rush for years now, but injuries and things that have happened where you kind of have to change the scheme. And things that have happened even to Devin injury-wise have kind of prevented them from really unleashing him on the quarterback. But that's something that Devin's been advocating since I was there. And I think that this year is you're starting to see it a little bit more because there's finally enough depth and enough guys that they can lean on that even when they have injuries, they can still operate this way where Devin is a pass rusher in a lot of packages, which is really, really fun for him. And I know it's really fun for that defense as a whole.
I rarely agree with Stank and disagree with Sammer, but I think Sammer was more posing a question as opposed to saying that we should use Winfield that way. But I agree with you. I think it's a complete waste of Antoine's skill set. It's what he did last year, actually. If you think about it, he had to play down in in the slot and play nickel and all that stuff and go against the tight ends. He's special and he can do it, but where he's special is when he can affect both sides of the field and he's just a beast. He's too good. I'd rather not waste him.
I put him. We did safety rankings for FoxSports.com, and I put Antoine as my number one. I did, and nobody else had him there. But I was like, I don't care.
Wake up.
I'm riding for this guy. I've seen him up close.
And that's why you have a Super Bowl ring and nobody else in that room does. Honestly, like really.
All right, score predictions. Let's get out of here.
Yeah,
she's casually drinking from like a 3-gallon jug.
Somebody said that. Somebody was like,
massive.
I'm trying to drink more water, guys. I'm trying to drink more water.
That's how you do it.
I'm trying to drink more water. It's my water.
Time for score predictions.
Emotional support water.
You're that scared.
The loose cannons. She needs.
You have an
support.
olive tree behind you, Carmen. You're safe. I promise you. All right.
You're right. You're right. I am.
All right. So anyway, time for our score predictions. The way we do it here, Carmen, you got to give your score prediction. You got to give us a bold take that accompanies that score prediction. So since you are the guest, you will go last. Poppy Latte, go ahead.
I'm writing them down. Oh shit! You just gonna
Yeah,
put me on
that's
the.
right. All right, Stanker, you're going first.
Oh, I
I'm
can
making the
go.
guest
I'm
go
going
last.
out. I'm going 24-21. The good guys. McLovin or whatever his name is, stupid kicker. We don't like kickers on this show. They're all dumb. They look the dumb.
I honestly
dumb
don't
weird
know
last year. The way he walked up to kick it, he just looked weird. McLovin, stupid kicker who's bow-legged, kicks the game-winning field goal. And we just right off.
And we still don't like him, regardless.
We still don't like him.
Yeah,
still like
unless
him.
until our kicker's Matt Gay again. I refuse to show any kickers in this
I
town
agree.
any love or respect.
We end the game with some like cool 70s rock or something like that. Let's not do West Virginia stuff anymore. Let's not do that.
Yeah. You don't want to hear West Virginia's theme song while we're down 27 points in the third quarter?
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
Read the room, Bucs. Like, what was that?
Oh, man. Stanker, what's your score prediction? 11?
In the fourth quarter, we're down with 21. I'm like, what are you doing?
I know. I heard it.
Go ahead.
Normally, I tend to be kind of nervous about, close games. Not this week. I've heard all the talk. I think it's hilarious. We even have a Lions fan in our chat right now talking shit.
Yeah.
So
shit about
cute.
Baker.
It's so cute. It really is. Like I love Lions fans. I feel really bad for them. Like that cat that's been hit by a car is missing a couple fucking legs. Like that's kind of how I feel when I look at a Lions fan.
Make a score prediction, bro.
So
we're trying to watch a football game. Can you get off of this? I mean, we are all now dumber for having listened to this.
Let me finish. We won your division like before you guys have won the division, right? What? And
yeah,
anyways. Exactly. So score prediction, it's going to be a shutout. Bucs 37, Lions 0. This is a comeback to reality game.
What is going on
for the Lions and for Detroit? Honestly, like it's going to be one of those games where people are like, "What? Who did we think this team really was?" They're the Lions. They're the Lions. Bucs go to 4-1. This is an NFC South team. It's like, like a Division I football team versus Alabama. That's what it's going to be like this week. So big win for the Bucs. And, Lions can go back to licking their wounds.
Stank is feeling himself, bro. I don't even know what Sam's prediction is going to be now. Like 80-0? Like, he went up to you, bro. He went 30.
He's
getting like
Chicago
right
now.
Level of delusion right now.
Well,
like,
listen,
Dicka delusion.
I haven't been wrong. I haven't been wrong yet on our wins and losses, Latte.
Okay.
Obviously, I have the script. I have the almanac. I understand what's coming down. All right. Me and Bleacher Report myself have had many meetings leading up to the score prediction I'm about to give you guys. Okay. Here's what's going to happen. All right. Here we go. All right. No. Listen, the Bucs goal every week on defense, hold the opponent to 17 points. Devin White told us on Fully Loaded just earlier this week. I hold teams to 17 points.
Stop name dropping.
The other team just has to.
You're gonna say my score prediction.
No, I'm not.
You're gonna steal it.
But this is the Lions offense that it's very difficult to hold them to 17. So I will say that they will score 24, but the Bucs will score 34 points. Bucs win by 10 points. They just have enough talent on defense to kind of push around the Lions offense. And the Lions make it seem a little bit closer because they score kind of, early in fourth quarter, but the game's at hand at that point. And Baker Mayfield, yet again, ends the game in victory formation because that's just what Baker does, man. Baker is a dog. 34-24
34-24.
34-24 Bucs. Carmen, this is a game you said you didn't want to pick. None of us gave our bold predictions, so just give us your score prediction.
Wait, my prediction was
his score was the bold prediction.
Yeah, that's a bit high.
That's true. I said earlier that I thought this was going to be a defensive game, despite the fact that both of these offenses are good and have been clicking and all that kind of stuff. And I don't want to hear it from anybody in that building for picking against them. So I'm going to go with Bucs. I'm going to say that they upset the Lions.
Upset?
But
yeah,
we're
the
Lions are favored in this game. It would technically be an upset.
Who cares what those degenerates in Vegas think?
20-17 Bucs. There.
20-17. It sounds like a dominating victory. You know, I want to finish off my earlier predictions because you guys cut me off. Kyle Trask is going to get in the game in the second half, just as I predicted, by the way. After the bye, Kyle Trask would play.
That's the bold prediction.
That's the bold take. Kyle Trask comes in second half. We're pulling Baker. Second half, puts up 2 touchdowns.
I had to take a drink from my emotional support water bottle.
Yeah. Hey, Stank's not crazy. The last time we faced the Lions, we did start the middle of the third quarter, or I believe the second half, with backup quarterback. One with lovely thighs.
That's not the Lions now. That's not the same Lions.
I'm just saying, it's not crazy.
Hold on.
I'm going with my heart over my head. First of all, my head is telling me to pick the Lions, but I'm not going to do it. My heart.
Clip that. I'm sending that. I'm sending that to Jace tonight.
Hold on. We got a super chat. Stanker is on right now. I am. I'm right.
You're on.
Thank you for the $4.99.
I would like to give my bold prediction. The last time we faced the Lions in Detroit, a former Buccaneer, shout out, good friend of the program, as well as his mom and everyone, his family, went back home to Detroit and got a pick 6. I think we're going to get another pick 6 this weekend at home.
Fun.
I don't know who.
Who?
I mean, Zion's balling.
Pick one.
Who? I got to pick. I have to pick one.
You just said his name. It's gonna be second year guy Zion, man. He's gonna a little confidence boost and a little confidence cherry on top.
I think Zion might do it, but it could be Izzian, bro. Izzian's been on one, bro.
Yeah.
Izzian's been on one, and listen, and Carmen knows this. Carmen, you know, professional, Fox Sports. Your boy Goff isn't that good on the road. He's not. Look at this place. We kind of have a fantasy football show now, Cameron. We do these numbers and we look at this stuff, and he's okay. He did good against the Packers, but the Packers aren't us. But historically, and dating back to last year, Goff is shit on the road. Let's just be real.
This isn't last year's Lions. It's not the Lions from 3 years ago. It's not the Lions from 5 years ago.
Don't matter.
This is a different beast. I'm warning you guys.
Doesn't matter. What are you warning
about?
I
picked them. You can't get mad.
All right. So now, if I don't want to see you on any Detroit media in the next couple of days here leading up to the game, doing any about faces. Yeah.
I feel like we strong-armed her a little bit. She might regret what she said after the show. It doesn't matter. I hate to interrupt you again, but we had another super chat. Peter Pelagic, he drops his score prediction. Tampa Bay Cream Dreams 24, Poverty Cats 0 with the Super Bowl wins 21. All right, that doesn't make any sense because obviously I'm dyslexic. Bucs 24.
You gotta go see Swifty, bro. Come on, they've shown her already like 20 times. We're late for the
show. Must be before kickoff then. All right, Carmen, thank you so much for joining us on the Loose Cannons. If you guys have enjoyed this show, hit the like button. If you're new, smash the subscribe button and make sure you click on that bell icon so you don't miss any future shows. Also, check us out on iTunes and Spotify. Carmen, before you go, let us know where we can find you and all of the amazing stuff that you do covering the NFC North for Fox Sports.
Yeah, foxsports.com is where all my articles live. If you want to keep up with any appearances, podcasts, TV appearances that I do now, it's all on my social media, Twitter, Instagram, even TikTok now. So Carmen V, check me out on there. And thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're kind of big time.
It was good to have you back, Carmen. It was really good to have you back.
I missed you guys.
The last time Carmen was on, we won a Super Bowl. I'm just saying. Baker's like, there's magic in the air. I don't know.
She was here last year. We didn't win a Super Bowl last year.
She was here last year. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Well,
you saying her last appearance was forgettable?
I didn't say the last. I didn't say.
Wow.
I didn't say that.
All the things that I've done for you guys.
No. What I will say though is every time Carmen comes on the show, it's like the first time.
Oh, nice save, Christian.
I like that.
Never forget who it was that told you to put on Hustler music at the hole at your
it changed everything. It changed
at Arian Foundation golf outing. When Mike Evans was walking up, you guys asked me what song to put on, and I told you to put on Hustler music. And what happened?
Yep.
Yeah, but who got you that dope ass profile photo of
was
you on
pretty
that
hard.
golf cart?
That parental advisory,
Who took that
it looked
picture?
like
Me.
album cover. That was
Good
pretty
one.
sick.
You had a
took
damn
that
album
picture?
cover, all right?
That
That's
was
right.
me.
Stank
That was
did.
me.
It was
We gotta-
Stank is dumb and he can't read super chats very well, but
Right.
he took a good photo.
He can,
I
he
can
can
take a
take
good
it. He
golf
can
cart
take good
picture.
photos. I'm
I got an awesome story to tell you. Cut the show because this is in public. Let's go.
All right.
wow.
Hey,
Wow.
everybody, thank you so much
Bye,
for watching.
everybody.
Appreciate
You
the
guys
super
don't get to
chats.
hear this.
We appreciate all the chats. Leave us a comment and go Bucs.
Welcome to Tampa Bay.